In the last session, we created a simple project. With that project, here is our training folder. Just give me a moment. I will remove all the remaining training folders. Now you see your training folder is there. Within the training folder, we created one component with a page which will display three details for us: employee ID, name, and joining date. This is our project we created in the application designer to create the page in the front end. Now we created field, record, page component. Now why we did it without learning in depth about a field, record, page? Why we should complete this project first? Why? Because now you are in a better position. Now you have an idea about what is a field, what is a record, what is a page, what is a component, how we are moving our developed objects to the front end. Maybe you don't know about what is field in depth, what is record in depth, but you know the overview of each and every object what we touched. From today onwards, what we will do, we will try to learn in-depth concepts of a field, record, page, component. Once we learned all these objects, then we can close the application design. Now, field, project. Okay, we talked about the project. Who created this project? Venkat. How do you know? Based on what you're saying, Venkat created this project. GEE_EMP_ project. How do you know about it? Open this project, go to the file, project properties. You see, it's my user ID. If I am using some different user IDs to log on, if I am using my user ID Venkat, then it will be shown my user ID Venkat. Not only that, I have to add my description like application designer learning project. What is the purpose of the project? How can I know? Looking at these comments and descriptions. Venkat, is it mandatory to add all these comments and descriptions? Without adding all these comments and descriptions, we completed the project and we can see the output. But why we have to add all these comments? Why? Because it's a development standard. Completing the development, it's not a big deal. Anybody can. But completing the development by following the development standards, I can call it as a good job. Why? Because now I know what is the purpose of this project, why you created it, who created it. Even, let us say you modified something. Okay. Let us say I created very early. Now you would like to modify something. Now you are adding developer. Added page to the project. Sorry, it's not developer. Developer is Geeta. Purpose displaying a new page in the component. That's it. You can add your comments. That means now I know here if you are not writing your comments, I can see your user ID here, Geeta, at what date and what time you updated this project, last saved time. But what is the purpose behind that? What changes you made in the project? Otherwise, purposefully you removed some of the records from the project. How do I know about it? This is called development standard. Each and every developer should follow this. It's a good practice. Venkat, without adding these comments, yes, you can complete your development, but we need a track. We need a track. That's why. Now, going to the field. Field. Open this field. Even the field also has its own properties. Who created this field? Who modified this field? Where? Again, file, not project properties, definition properties. Why? Because field is a definition within the project. Click on this. Otherwise, click on this properties tab. That means the shortcut hand button properties. Otherwise, open the field, Alt plus Enter. Here. Here you have to add your own comments. What purpose you created the field. Now, field. Already I told you, it's nothing but a column in the database. In the database, we can call it as a column. In the application designer mode, we are calling it as a field. Now, in the next layer, number of fields are there. Types, number of field types are there. Character, long character, number, sign number, date. We will go one by one. Whenever you are creating a field, what is the first? One moment. Okay, whenever I am trying to create a field, we have to go here, new, field, click on OK. First default type is the character. Character is the type. Character means it will accept alphanumeric. Length, it's displaying the length. It's a displaying the length means it has some limitation in the length. 254 is the maximum field length you can give for a character field. If I am trying to give 255, it is showing maximum field length allowed is 254 for a character field. That means if you are designing a character field to accept, to capture alphanumeric entry, its must and should be the field length is 254. Venkat, what will happen for the 254? Maximum 254? I would like to capture some of, I would like to give an option to my user to write paragraphs data. Then it's not a character field. It's a long character field. That means for a character field, 100% there is a limitation of field length 244. Label ID. In the last session, Geeta expressed one question like, whatever the label ID you're giving to the same as a field name. Yes. We have one label ID. Have you observed? We can enter multiple label IDs. What is this label ID? If I'm talking about a label ID, unique identifier of a field. Unique identifier of a field. Unique identifier of a field. Label ID means unique identifier of a field. Absolutely. Then, what is the unique identifier? I will show you one delivered field. Um, Employee ID, the delivered field is there. First of all, I am getting it out. Venkat, employee ID is already there in the delivered. Why you created your own? Employee ID field length is 11 in the delivered. Have you observed here employee ID 11? But in my client side, I'm expecting 50. But it won't happen for the employee ID for some other fields. That's why I added my own. Employee ID, it's a delivered field. Have you observed how many label IDs are there? 56 label IDs are there. Observe carefully. But have you observed one thing? Among those 56, only in one area, sorry, in one row, this checkbox is checked. Label ID is defaulted to one field has number of label IDs, but only one default label ID. What is this, Venkat? It has a relationship. Just to keep in mind, 100% we will discuss about this relationship, label ID and default relationship, whenever we are discussing the pages. Not now. Why? Because it needs some examples. I will give you the detailed explanation with example whenever we are discussing in the pages. Now, label ID, default checkbox. Both are related. There is no guarantee, there is no mandatory rule. Whatever the label ID you are using, you have to use as a field name. It's not like that. Why I used GEE, GEE, GEE everywhere? What is the use of using GEE? My client is Geeta. I am creating a custom object. Custom object means number of peoples of delivered objects are there like this. Fields. Thousands of fields are available in the PeopleSoft database. But I am creating a new field for my client, which is PeopleSoft delivered, which is created by me, which is created by a developer. How can I differentiate based on this naming convention? GEE underscore. That means GEE is my client naming convention. Whenever I'm able to see one object with the naming convention, I can confirm, yes, it's a client object. That means it's an object created for our client use. Custom objects. Not only field, records. Thousands of records are there. Have you observed? Absence calculation, absence history. All these are the PeopleSoft delivered. But whenever I'm able to see GEE, yes, not only GEE, okay, if I am working for Citi Bank, I will use CIT, Bank of America, BOA. It depends on their naming convention, what they used to prepare some custom objects. That is why even whenever you are preparing the project, whenever you are trying to do some practice in your machines, please use some naming convention for your objects. Why? Because I would like to make some differentiate. Just imagine what will happen. Employee ID you are creating with field length 15. You are simply saving it as EMPL ID, not GEE underscore employee ID. Then what will happen? System first it will ask, you are trying to replace the existing employee ID definition. If you click on yes, your entire system will be corrupted. Why? Because employee ID it has more references, more tables, more pages. Everywhere it will be corrupted. That is why better to create a new object instead of changing the existing one. Whenever you are creating a new object for your client, Please follow the naming convention. It's not mandatory, whatever the label ID you are giving here, it's not mandatory to give the same as field name. It's not mandatory. Now, long name. Have you observed in the front end, employee ID, the field level long name is nothing but it's a display, the field label display in the front end. Venkat, I would like to display the short name. I don't want to display the long name as a label, but you can change it in the page level. Double click the employee ID, go to the label. As of now, you are using long name. Now you can use the short name. If you click on OK, it will change like this. You can just check it. Employee ID, employee ID. You can change it to long name. Now, long name has a limitation. Yes, it has 30 characters limitation. I'm trying to type it something here, but after some time, it won't accept my entry. Why? Because it has a length limitation, 30 characters, 30 characters. Now, if I am giving like this, employee identification. Now you see employee identification. Now, coming to the short name, I am not giving anything in the short name. Can I save it? Absolutely. Save it. But what happened? It picks some portion of the long name and it stores as a short name. You can give your own short name. If you are not giving anything, it will pick the first 15 characters from the long name. Why only 15, Venkat? Why? Because short name has a length limitation, 15 characters. Venkat, can I give my own short name? Absolutely. You can give your own. But if you are not giving anything, it will pick up the first 15 characters of the long name. Here I am giving. I can give both as same also. Employed. That means long name, short name are the field labels. Other than that, nothing. Field format. Have you observed uppercase? Even in the name also, we have seen uppercase. What is uppercase? Let us say in the name I am giving smaller case entry. Test 01. Observe carefully. It is converting the smaller case entry into the uppercase. Why? Because your field property is uppercase. Like that, number of format types are there. Name is a format type. Phone number for North America, zip code postal, SSN, like that. SSN means social security number, US format. 3 digits hyphen 2 digits hyphen 4 digits. Like that. Next, number only. Like that, number of format types are there. Generally, we won't change it on our own. Until and unless client is asking us, I would like to store in mixed case. I would like to store in blah, blah, blah. You can ignore it. Now, next field type. We simply completed the character, long character. Whenever I selected the character, it is asking the field length, everything. Whenever I selected the long character, format type is gone. It is asking the maximum length. Long character I am creating. That means more than 254. 100%. More than 254 means it might be a comment box, it might be a review box, it might be appraisal comments boxes. You can write paragraphs, you can write dates, you can use some special characters to mention something. That is why there is no special format type available for a long character. And it is also maximum length. Okay, let us say 500 I am giving. That means in my long character, I can enter 500. Focus on this. Now, label ID GEE underscore, let us say comments. What happened? Comments. Okay. What happened? Comments. Now save it as GEE underscore comments. We are done. Now we created a long field, comments. Now I would like to display the field and the page here. What should I do? Simply, we have to open the record. Why? Because whenever you are trying to place a field on the page, 100% it should be from a record, not from the field level. Try it. Try to drag and drop. It won't come. You are placing a field on the page means it's need a reference where once you enter data in the field on the page, you will try to save it where it should go and save. That's the target. That's why we have to add it to a record. Add comments field like this. Save it. Now just query it. Select star from ps underscore GEE underscore EMP underscore TBL. Have you observed? Employee name, joining date, but there is no comment. Why? You modified the structure. Observe carefully. You modified the structure of the record by adding a new field into the structure. You have to intimate the same to the database. Record structure is modified. Please build the new structure. Again, build current definition. As of now, what we did, create table. Table is already created. Table is already created. Then alter the table. Altering the table. Execute and build script. Third option. Build it. Yes. Now go ahead and check it. Comments. Now it's came. Comments. Now you are authorized to place the field on the record. Sorry, on the page. Like this. Now go to the front end and try to add something on the field. This is the field. Okay. This is the field. You are adding something. Let us say this is the text I am adding. Have you observed? Here I am accepting. It is accepting my entry. Now, how much data I entered? Let's try to open the notepad and I'm placing it. Have you imagined this much of data? 100% we all of us know it's more than 500 characters. Am I right? Are you following Gita?
Yeah.
Subhash?
Yes.
Why? It's a PeopleSoft behavior. Now, Venkat, it's accepting my entry even more than 500 characters. Okay, let's go and save it. It won't allow. It is restricting you like this. The value field comments has more by 5,641 characters reduced to 500 or less characters. If you are asking me a question, Venkat, why it is allowing me to type more than 500? It's a 30 character field. It is not allowing me to type more than 30. If you're asking me a question like that, no answer from me. Why? Because it's a PeopleSoft behavior in the long character field. But you can expand and see what you entered in the long character. In earlier versions, you can't see these expansions, but in 9.2, you can see. Now, what should we do, Venkat? Nothing. Nothing to do. Simply go ahead and reduce the entry to 500 characters manually. If your client is asking, why don't we stop our side? Why don't we write our code to stop the character entry after 500? By simply using people code, it is not possible. I will explain you in the in-depth concepts whenever we are discussing the people code. Now what we have to do, simply we will reduce it and we will try to enter some 500 characters and you can save it. Now you can see the data like this. Now, whenever I am giving a fixed length 500, my system is restricting me to save more than 500. If I'm keeping it 0, what will happen? It won't accept anything? No, not like that. It will accept infinity. It will accept infinity. What is infinity? There is no end. Then Venkat, if my user is giving 1 lakh characters, 1 lakh characters in this comment box and he's trying to save it. Not only one user, number of users, thousands of users are adding such type of entries. What will happen? Yes, sometime database space is the issue. Then how generally they will handle the situation? Maximum, even why? Because if you open some of the delivered fields, long character fields, you see, have you observed the delivered fields also 0, 0. Some of the fields are there having 8192 some character limits, but here most of the delivered fields are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then how they will handle the situation? Generally, in the database side, DBAs will prepare the database to accept for a long field. They will prepare a limitation, 10,000 characters, 9,000 characters, 7,000 characters. Even though you're giving 1 lakh characters and you're trying to save it, it will truncate automatically your text to 7,000 characters based on the limitation set by the DBA in the database level, and it will save it. Even though you entered 1 lakh character, it won't mind about it. That is why you have to keep in mind, you have to be very careful whenever you are preparing a long character field. You can ask your client, what is the length you are expecting maximum to be entered in the long character? Better to take the maximum length concept and try to save it. Are we clear? We are all clear on this?
Yes.
Subhash.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, going to the next field type, very simple it is. It's a number. No format. There is no format available for the number. Integer, decimal. That's it. Integer and decimal. How many integer positions? How many decimal positions? Okay, let us say my number is accepting 5 integer positions, 2 decimal positions. Okay, now I am giving here entry GEE. What I can say? Let us say not salary. Something. Let us say number only. Now we successfully saved the data in the field name number. Then go to the record as we try to add the number here. I'm just giving you one suggestion. Whenever you are preparing a long field, it should be at the end of the table. Why? Because it's not mandatory, but if you're having it end of the table, why? Because it occupies more space. Whenever you are trying to see if it is in the middle, it will occupy more space. That means for a display, that's what I'm saying. Now build it by using alter table. We added a field to the record, built it. Now you can query it. Now you see the number. Now add the number in the page level. Here. Now save it. Now go to the front end and open it. Number. Try to add characters in this. Save it. It won't allow you. Number field format error. That too, it is showing the format 5 integer 2 decimal. Okay. Now I am giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dot. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dot 1, 2, 3. It won't allow me. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 digits in the integer level. It won't accept. Now it won't accept. Why? Because integer still it is having 6. Now it will accept. It's number fields. Next, one more type of field. Even if you try it now, like let us say here, Venkat, I will remove it. I can enter minus. It won't allow you. Negative sign won't allow you. Negative sign allowed by sign number. A checkbox will be checked. Sign number. If your field is a type of sign and number, then it will allow you the checkbox. Sorry, sir. It will allow you to enter negative signs, negative numbering. Is it clear, both of you? Next. Field type is date. Date is simply, there is no field length available for the data. Simple, very straightforward. Why? Because date has a pixel length. Date, month, year. In between are the separators. First January 2018. 01/01/2018. Date has a pixel length 10. Date has a label ID, long name and short name. All are common fields. What is this? In our date also we had that. Default to 2000 if year less than or equals to 50. Just go ahead. In our date, if I am giving 25, 25 is less than 50 or not? Yes, it's less than 50. Then what will happen if it's less than 50? Can you imagine now what will happen to this? How the date will store in the database based on this condition? Any one of you?
It won't store the data.
It will store.
No, it won't accept.
It will accept, but it will
store at
2025.
2025.
Why? Because 25 is less than 50. If your entry is less than 50, then it will take it as 2000. It's essentially 2000. Defaulting the century. Now, as a user, I am not giving the century. I am giving the year 65. 65 is less than 50? No.
No.
It's greater than 50. Then what it will took? 19.
This is true.
Are we clear on this point?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. As like as the date, time also having the same type of format. Which type of format you would like to collect your time? Hours, minutes, seconds, hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. Next, date, time. Both are in a single field. Both are in a single field. That means I would like to capture date and time in a common field. defaulted to 2000 if year less than or equals to 50. Some fields are there, I think. Here, this is the one. Or here, this is the one, this is the one. Some fields they are capturing both date and time. Here, absolutely, this is the perfect field you can see. Date, time. It's capturing both in a single field. Last updated date time. In this way, we can prepare the fields. Majorly, these type of fields we will use to capture audit data. Audit. You know the meaning of audit, right? All of you? Gita?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Audit means
Yes, yes.
each and every change they would like to capture. At what date and what time you changed it. Mostly only those scenarios they will use this updated time. Date and time in a common field. Next, image. Again, image is a field. It is asking the maximum length. Images. You would like to display some images on the page. What is the maximum length? How many bytes? Why? Because length is not calculated in the words. Here we are calling it as bytes. System images. And how many image formats are accepted by PeopleSoft? All these are the image formats accepted by PeopleSoft database. Image reference is one more field type, which is not a direct image. We can call via the people code. Attachment. Again, you would like to give some attachment field on the page. You are giving a limitation, maximum length of our attachment. You can give. Like that, all these are the field types. Last three we will use very occasionally, image reference attachment, but the remaining all types we will use very regularly. Now, we already discussed about the field property. Here also, the field property, go to the field property. Here we will add our own comments, developer, date, project, purpose of creating this field. Now, what we learned in the field side. If you let us see, if you open a delivered field, delivered page now, whenever you are trying to open a delivered page, here you see, now based on our discussion, if you observing a symbol like this, we can confirm, okay, it's a date field. Here, it's a date field. Okay, now, some long fields are there, if there is any long field entries. That means, we came to know a little on the fields now. It's a date field. Okay, now, have you observed one thing? Format type English, French, German. I would like to prepare this kind of field in my page. Gender, let us say the same type of information, male, female, unknown, I would like to display on my page. But observe one thing, okay, these type of fields we can call it as translate fields. Translate fields. Any special attributes? Yes. Type is character. Length is should be less than or equals to 4. Okay, we will go and create it. New field definition, character. Okay, I'm going to create a gender field. It is one character is enough. M for male, F for female, U for unknown for my entry. Okay, then one character is enough for me. Now, GEE, gender. Gender. We are done. One thing, okay, gender field we created as per the same as per the definition of translates. My field type is character, my field length is less than 44. Next, I would like to display the gender field on the page. Next, what are all the steps we will follow? We will add the gender field to the record, and we will alter the record, and we will place the field on the page. But in this entire procedure, where we decided it should display a drop down, and in the drop down it should display male, female, unknown. Both of you got my question?
Yes.
Now, in the field level only we have to add. Venkat, where we can add? There is no option for us. Go to the properties. Have you observed translate values? One more tab came. Venkat, for all of the fields it has the tabs. Employee ID, character field length is 15, no tab. Name, character field length 30, no tab. Why? Because even though it's a character, it's not satisfying the field length condition. Even for your gender field, you're giving 10 is the character length, then it's gone, translate values. Even it's 5, you're giving, it's gone, translate values. Whenever you're giving 4, it will give you the translate values. That means if the length and the field type both are matched to the conditions, then it will display the translate values. Go to the translate values, add your own translate values. Male, M for male. Next, female. Okay, let's say only 2 options I'm giving as of now. Next, what is the procedure? We created a translate field as per our discussions. Now I would like to add this translate field to the record. Just add here like this as per your order. Now build the record with alter table option, execute and build script, build it. Yes. Now go ahead and check your table. Gender is also came. Now go ahead and place the gender on the page. Just I'm trying to adjust the page here like this. Now add the gender here. Gender, have you observed drop down came? Why? Because this field has translate values. Now, have you observed? Now the employee ID number 1, male. Save it. It's successfully saved. M it is showing. If you changed it, female. Sorry, where? What is happening? Here, female it came. That means it's successfully storing the data as expected. Now, my user is asking, Venkat, as of now you are displaying 2 values, male and female. Please display unknown. A developer is required to change the thing. Why? Because application designer should log on, open the field, add a new translate value, save it. No. Once the field was created with some translate values, a user also can add some translate values. Where? In the main menu, people tools, utilities, administration, translate values. Where we came? Main menu, people tools, utilities, administration, translate values. Open your field, z_zenda. As of now, it's having 2. Now I can add 1. New translate field we can't create, but You can add the data already. If you created already, you can use the data. Unknown. Now save it. Venkat, it will replicate directly. 100% it will replicate directly. Unknown. Even in the backend, yes, it will replicate in the backend also. You. But to add some translate values in the front, you should create a field first in the application designer with some translate values. We are done with the field today. Tomorrow we will start with the record. Any questions so far? Geeta? Subhash?
I'm good.
Subhash?
Yeah, once I had to practice and I think
Sure. Yeah. Good sign.